A very good morning. It's indeed my pleasure and a matter of privilege for me to brief you regarding the proceedings of the Executive Committee, which was held at Geneva on 17th and 18th of October, just prior to the commencement of the 151st IPU Assembly. Friends, as I told you, it's spread over 2 days, and we discussed around 16 agenda items, and most of the agenda items were discussed threadbare. Greetings from India, the largest democracy of the world, with 1.4 billion people of diverse faiths, cultures, religions, and colors. I come from a country where Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, is the underlying theme around which all our activities revolve. I come from a country where the strength is derived from embracing differences and not from forcing sameness. I'm delighted today to be able to address my esteemed colleagues from around 36 countries who constitute the Asia-Pacific group. As I told you, there were 16 agenda items, and we all discussed everything threadbare for a couple of hours every day, keeping the sole goal in view, and the goal was the tagline of the IPU, the slogan of the IPU, for democracy for everyone. I will be touching upon some of the major issues that we discussed, and I solicit your kind attention. Number one, friends, as you know, it has been mentioned by the chair today, the last meeting of the Executive Committee, the 296th meeting, this is the 297th meeting which was held 2 days back. The 296th meeting was held in Olympia, Greece. And the proceedings of the meeting, the summary of records were placed before us, and we discussed and approved. Number two, very important, the Legislative Council of Brunei, Darussalam, a very small nation on the island of Borneo in Southeast Asia, wanted affiliation to the IPU. The proposal was put forth before us. We discussed the matter, debated, took everybody's concerns, and then ratified. Brunei now is part of the IPU group. Number four, friends, a very unfortunate incident happened in Doha, the capital city of Qatar. On June 23, 2025, and on September 9, 2025, there were two terrorist attacks on Doha, Qatar, by Iran and Israel, respectively, and the Deputy Speaker of the Shura Council of Qatar, who is also the member of the ExCom, in fact, put forth her grief before all of us. She was shocked, and she expressed her shock before all of us, and she wanted support from us. Believe me, I'm delighted as member of the ExCom and the Vice President of the executive body that instantaneously every member of the Executive Committee came out openly and condemned the terrorist attacks on Doha, Qatar by Iran and Israel. The sovereignty of Qatar was upheld by one and all. The attitude of Iran and Israel was found to be unacceptable. Friends, we move to the next, that is the fifth point that was very forcefully raised by the Speaker of Niger, the country called Niger, you are aware of, in Africa. There was a military coup in Niger on 26th July 2023, almost 2 years back. And thereafter, the democratic processes went for a toss, as you know, and an advisory council, an apology for a parliament was put into place, and the speaker of that advisory council came forward to the executive committee of the IPU and put forth his case. Now let me tell you the background, my dear friends. The IPU, after the military coup and the suspension of the democratic processes, had actually suspended the membership, or rather suspended the affiliation of Niger to the IPU. The speaker, extremely able person, he debated his case, he put forth his case, he advocated his case, and then thereafter, we all decided unanimously to allow conditional entry, conditional onboarding of Niger in IPU. There are certain things which Niger has to do, but then we all should gather together and ensure that there is return of vibrant democracy in Niger, and that is why we all collaborated together and decided to accept the request of the Speaker of the Advisory Council of Niger. Now, number 6, I'll be as brief as possible, but there are certain issues which actually need your understanding, appreciation, and I need to put forth before you. Number 6, a major highlight of the executive body was the discussion regarding the IPU sustainability policy. We are all talking of sustainable development for all. So I must congratulate the Secretariat of the IPU, the members of the IPU, and all of us put together who have drafted the IPU sustainability policy. And this was actually discussed and ratified by us. And we go to number 7. We all are aware of the fact that we are guided currently by the IPU strategy from 2022 to 26. Now, the methodology to be adopted for the new IPU strategy for the year 2027 to 2031 was placed before us, was debated before us, was deliberated upon. The contours were put forth before us, presented through a PPT. And I must tell you that this IPU strategy, which is coming, the methodology of which was discussed, focused on 4 things: climate change, democracy, youth participation, human rights, peace and security, and sustainable development for all. Now, number 7, I'm coming to the end of my speech. Number 7, Honorable Chair just mentioned a very significant thing, and I really solicit your attention. 2 major things have taken place, and I commend the efforts of the IPU. On 28th of July 2025, at Geneva, the women speakers, the 15th summit of the women speakers of different parliaments congregated. Around 26 women speakers came and 4 deputy women speakers came, and there was a day-long deliberation. I reiterate, the 15th summit of women speakers of various parliaments of the world gathered together in Geneva on 28 July 2025. This was a major achievement of the IPU. Thereafter, from 29 July to 31st July 2025, the 6th World Conference of Speakers from all across the world came together, gathered here, assembled, and debated on various issues. So I think these were the 2 major highlights. We were apprised, the executive committee members were apprised, and then thereafter, we saw the report, very beautiful report has been brought out by the IPU Secretariat, and I will definitely make an appeal to all of you to have a look at the report. I read the report and I was really charmed. Very well drafted reports on the 2 summits that took place. And I must bring to your knowledge, I'll be failing in my duty if I don't mention this. The theme of the debate was, in the 6th World Conference of Speakers was a world in turmoil, parliamentary cooperation and multilateralism for peace, justice, and prosperity for all. So this is something which we really need to know. Now, friends, slightly deviating from what I have been saying so far, currently in the world, there are 61 state-based armed conflicts going on, affecting 210 million people in 36 countries. And that is why we are all here. We need peace, we need tranquility, we need solidarity, and we need our sovereignty to be respected and upheld. Now here, I must commend the IPU Secretariat, and again, all of us, we all constitute the IPU, and we have come for the 151st IPU General Assembly. The general debate theme is enchanting. It is upholding humanitarian norms and supporting humanitarian action. I'm really looking forward to, as you are doing, my esteemed colleagues from 36 countries of the Asia-Pacific group, to a very good, very fruitful dialogue and discussion in this 4 days meeting, and this is all about parliamentary diplomacy. Now, at the end, I can only say that my very esteemed colleague, my dear friend, Honourable Speaker, Australia, Mr. Milton Dick, who is here, would be talking to you about the financial position of the IPU. And I can only say that finance is the backbone of every institution, and it is our bounden duty as a member of the IPU to know as to what kind of finance we have and how are we handling, what is the budget, what are the costs. And as the chairman of the subcommittee of this finance group, Honourable Speaker, Mr. Milton Dick would be talking to you. Friends, as I conclude, I can only say that I'm delighted to meet each one of you. And let us all catalyze collective parliamentary action for peace, justice, and harmony in this beautiful world of ours. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, Mrs. Sarangi. Good morning, Asia Pacific delegates. My name is Milton Dick.